That was that easy.
4:30. Ms. Tanya, do you want to go first?
Sure. I don't have anything for the agenda. Tonight at Birchfield is our family reading night from 3:30 until 5:30. Hope that goes well. And as Mr. John mentioned in his prayer, sickness is going around so much. We're Lysoling and doing all that every afternoon. I had probably 88% present today. It was very low. That was that way also Thursday and Friday last week. It's like the kids would get better, those same kids would get sick, then I have a whole new crew. So we're trying our best. The teachers are cleaning, my janitors are cleaning, so hopefully that sickness will get knocked out sooner rather than later. Boys basketball team is still competing in the Class A East sectionals at Catlettsburg. They will play Nola-Chucky at 5 p.m. tomorrow night. I know we have some more county schools in that tournament, so I wish all of our county schools well. Hopefully we'll see a county winner come out of that. Hopefully it's from Birchfield. That they come out of that. So we shall see, and congratulate Miss Amanda and our Birchfield girls team for playing so well all season long. Just very proud of all of our student athletes and our coaches. And I have nothing else. We're getting ready for testing, which starts in about 50-some days, and I know that's kind of hard to put your mind around that, but that is when that's going to happen, school days, that is. And like I said, everybody's buckling down and trying to do the best for these students. I know you are as well, and I appreciate all your support and helping us out in every way that you all can. But unless you all have anything for me, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Baden.
Well, Mr. Hall told me I had to be here, so I don't have anything for you, but if you've got questions, I'll answer them. I will tell you that Sharon wears some big shoes. I've had a lot of questions about different things that I've had to call and get answers, so I will send you a copy of our calendar. Miss Michelle got that together. Didn't think to bring it, to be honest, and I will do better next time.
Thank you. We look forward to that. Ms. Robbie.
Thank you. I do have one item for the agenda. I think I put copies in your boxes. I did talk to Sharon about getting that on the agenda. I would like to ask you to please put out a bid for our bleachers for our football field. I do have some answers, hopefully, for questions if you have them. We're not looking for anything monstrous. We just want something that will allow our home team to have a good section, and then also the visitors. I do think we have plenty of room on the side of where our
Field house.
Thank you, that building is, and so I don't think that'll be a problem. But if you do have any questions about that, I'll be happy to answer those. I did also put calendars in your boxes, and once again, I forgot to put Robbins Elementary on them. So the calendars that you see are for me, for Robbins. So if you have any questions about those, we are starting our academic team meets this week, so I do want to wish Robbins Elementary good luck in those. I know the kids always look forward to those, and Miss Story does an excellent job. Our science fair, our setup will be on February the 28th. I just cannot believe we've already made it to that point in the school year. And then we'll have judging on March 1st, and then they'll take those down on March the 2nd. So we're looking very forward to that. I just want to thank all you school board members for what you do for our schools. And I also want to say a big thank you to you for allowing our team to go to Pigeon Forge this past weekend. They had a really good time. We did compete on Saturday, and our girls were defeated by about 6 points. But that also allowed us to have time to cheer on the other teams. And I'm always very proud when I see all of our middle school teams come together to cheer each other on, because we know that our ultimate goal is to send them to Scott High to become one as a team. So I do want to thank you for that, and that's all I have unless you have questions. Thank you.
I'm here for Mr. Cash.
Okay.
Our boys basketball team is also going to Pigeon Forge tonight for the state quarterfinals. They play at 7:30. Our academic team will have their first meet on Thursday. We'll be sending home midterm reports next week with our students. And like Robin mentioned, since last week was School Board Member Appreciation, we want to thank Tommy for his service to our school. And that's all, unless you have something for me.
Thank you. Melissa.
Thank you very much. And maybe unlike some of the others, our attendance has been really good. Lately, it was we had a couple of days that were maybe a little bit up, but today was really great. We do have those high-density sprayers at Scott High, and I think they spray, I think they spray twice a week. And I think we even have a janitor who comes in at like this time of year, and he'll even come in and spray on the weekends. So we're doing that. That seems to be working. Of course, it's very spotty. You know, there is illness there, and so we just encourage those kids that if they are sick and they do need to be out, number one, make sure that they go to the doctor and get a doctor's note and bring that in, and then just be there when they're not sick, and the days will work out. So we encourage them to do that. But our attendance is okay right now. We do have our senior night for spring sports scheduled for Tuesday, February the 6th. That's the basketball game versus Anderson County, and we will do that between the boys and girls game. Now, you know, this time of year, we're always looking at that forecast, and so we're watching that. If we do need to reschedule that, then we do have a backup date for that, and we will get that senior night in. We always try to schedule that when we have a backup option. But for right now, it's scheduled for Tuesday, February the 6th, between the boys and girls game at Scott High versus Anderson County. Progress reports, I know it seems kind of crazy to talk about progress reports, but that 4.5-week timeline is up next week, and so by Friday, February the 9th, we'll have those reports out. However, I do want to caution parents that because of the weather and time that we've been out, there hasn't been a whole lot of time in, so sometimes those progress reports might be made up of just a few grades. There's still some time there, but if they have questions, they can always call in and check with their child's teacher. They did make the announcement that the basketball district tournament this year will be hosted at Kingston for us. So we'll be making that travel down there in a couple of weeks when that schedule is set. Spring sports for us will be starting the second week of February. I believe we'll have all of those spring sports in practice there, and then they'll actually start in competition around the 1st of March. So it just keeps moving forward. But I have had a couple of phone calls about spring event dates, things like prom and graduation and banquets and those things. We do have some tentative dates scheduled for those, but we won't release those until we get through the bulk of February for weather, because things are just so uncertain right now. If we get a lot of weather and we have to shift, there are certain events that have to take place first, and so sometimes we have to move those. So that's still very fluid, but just as soon as we can firm up those dates, we will release that information to parents and let you all know so that people can start planning for those things. But that's all that I have right now, unless you have questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Blakely, you have
I've got just a couple of things for the agenda. One is a CT budget amendment that should be in your packet. That'll actually be the second budget amendment for CTE. And then we need to, and I don't know if this is something I need to mention or if Ms. Keaton will mention it, but we do need to accept the bids for the floor burnisher. For the floor burnishers that we got the bids back, but they have to be evidently accepted by the board, so that needs to go on the agenda. And just as a matter of information for the board, I talked to the dealership today, and they've gotten invoices for 2 of our trucks, the 1500 and one of the 3500s. So they estimated somewhere around 2 weeks, just as a general time frame, so that's moving along, and I just wanted to let the board know how that was going. That's all I have, I think.
John, is this the only bid we got for the floor burnishers?
Yes.
Okay.
There was, and I did, I know it's published, but yeah, that's all we got.
Okay.
Ms. Phoebe, did you have anything?
Well, I don't have anything for the agenda, but some things going on, especially, of course, we are still having our IEP meetings, eligibility meetings. We are still having children that are transferring in, parents moving in, foster children, so we're staying busy with that. We have several TEIS children that will be coming in when they hit their 3rd birthday, so we will get all of our paperwork ready. And when they turn 3, we will get them started with services. And the last thing, Miss Amanda and I went through our desktop monitoring, and we found out last week that we did not have any write-ups. We were compliant, so we are very happy about that.
Yes, very.
To get that over with. And that's all I have unless you all have questions.
Okay, thank you. Miss Amanda, do you have anything?
Yes, ma'am. For the agenda, I have GP Amendment 5, and y'all have copies of that in front of you there. And then there was 4 schools that was awarded grants for the Read to Be Ready Summer, totaling $107,200. And it's broke down by school there, and you have a copy of that as well, and they'll be doing that this summer.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gregg, do you have something?
I have one item for the agenda. It's E-rate time of the year, so we need to renew our yearly contracts with Telepage, Highland, and ENA, and I'm requesting permission from you all to let us apply for E-rate funding.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you.
Thank
I missed anybody? Miss Dillon, Miss Donna, and
Hey, Greg, did we ever get totally done with that other deal about the money? Is it still
Nope,
floating?
it's still floating out there. They resolved the lawsuit that came about as part of that, but they have not resolved that issue that was before. That was the one that caused it all. You know, everybody got hit with that, and then they all went to this other contract. So then that contract got called into question, and the lawsuit and everything happened there. But the original causing event, I've heard nothing.
Oh, no news is good news.
I guess.
Miss Lima, I guess you will be next.
Mr. Hall left me a list of things to cover here. As you all know, last week was School Board Appreciation Week, and we all here, I'm sure, want to express appreciation for all your help and support that you do throughout the year. And Mr. Hall gave me a statement, and I'll just read it to you, or I would probably leave something out. He says, thank you for giving your time to serve our community as a member of the Scott County School Board. As a member of the board, you help make decisions that have a tremendous impact on our children's future and the community's quality of life. You've shown a tremendous commitment to our community. School board membership is one of the most personally demanding forms of public service. Members of the school board spend countless hours preparing for and participating in their monthly meetings. They also devote a great deal of time to studying educational issues and laws and listening to the concerns of parents, teachers, and community members. In fact, they are never completely off the job, and I'm sure you know exactly what that means. Also, he did send to me to read TSBA Governor Haslam's statement. It's not too long, but he wanted me to read it, so this is the State of Tennessee proclamation by the governor. Whereas an excellent public education system is vital to the quality of life of Tennessee's communities and to the economic development of the state. And whereas school board members represent a tremendous resource as the local decision makers and diligently work to overcome the challenges of a changing world while providing students with the services and opportunities needed for a quality education. And whereas school board members strive to ensure that every student graduates from high school prepared for college and the workplace. And whereas school board members support and appreciate the efforts of students, educators, and administrators whose diligent efforts have led to Tennessee's having the highest graduation rate on record. And whereas the men and women of our local school boards are elected by the people to make decisions most appropriate for our communities and deserve recognition and thanks for their countless hours of service to public education in Tennessee. This is now therefore I, Bill Haslam, Governor of the State of Tennessee, do hereby proclaim the week of January 21st through 27th, 2018 as School Board Appreciation Week. So we all want to be sure we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is February 12th and 13th. He wanted to remind the school board this is the Day on the Hill for you all. And also, and this may have been mentioned by principal, Fairview and Birchfield boys are still playing in the TMSAA sectionals in Sevierville. Fairview plays tonight and Birchfield plays Wednesday. Then there is an abbreviated day for February 21st. And as of now, we are reminded that we have already missed 6 snow days as of now. So those were some reminders. Also, regular agenda items. Overnight out-of-state trips are the following. Fairview Elementary Beta Club to Pigeon Forge, May the 14th through the 16th, 2018. Fairview and Huntsville Schools, TSSBDA Junior Band Clinic, January the 26th and 27th, 2018. Scott High, these items are for Scott High. School Cosmetology Seniors, Skills USA, Chattanooga, Tennessee, March 18th through 21st, 2018. And then the Scope, March the 5th and 6th, 2018. Then middle school basketball players and cheerleaders to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And then also on here, as Greg mentioned, to apply for the E-rate funding and renew the contract. That's on there. And then approve the following amendments: the CTE budget amendment number 2. Is that right? General purpose amendment number 5. Also approve the Read to Be Ready grant, as Miss Amanda mentioned. Approve the 2018 and 19 school calendar, and that is if we can, we're hoping to get that ready. Award bids for the floor burnish. Approve the letter of support for the pre-K grant. Request the finance director to bid the bleachers for Robbins Elementary School. And I do think that several of y'all did cover those items. The other thing I wanted to mention, we have our building level Teachers of the Year list now, and we would like to invite and hope that those people can attend at our school board meeting next Thursday night to be recognized. And I'd just like to read those names off. At Birchfield, pre-K through 4, Melanie Garrett, and 5 through 8, Ashley Hawkins. Fairview, Kayla Flowers, and 5 through 8, Laura Beth Lloyd. Huntsville Elementary, Laura Lawson. Huntsville Middle, Peggy Sexton. Robbins Elementary, Elizabeth Carroll. 5 through 8 is Joni Bird. Winfield Elementary, pre-K 4, Kim King. And 5 through 8, Brandy Harris. And then the high school 9 through 12, Tony Duncan. So we're very proud of these building level Teachers of the Year, and we will announce the district level Teacher of the Year next Thursday night. So, principals, if you will remind me to come. And that's everything. Okay.
Mr. Silcox, do you have anything?
Thank you, Lord Dad. Congratulations to you. I'd like to thank everyone from Fairview for everything they did for me. Thanks for helping me learn things. And every staff member throughout every school, high school, all through elementaries, middle school, whatever. Thank you all. We're here to try to help in the best way we can. So thank you all.
I too want to thank Ms. Newman and the staff at Robbins for the flowers that I received for school board. I really appreciate that. I was surprised. And I want to commend Ms. Faden for doing a very good job on the tournament. I mean, you just stepped right up to the plate. Didn't know much about basketball, but you learned a lot more than you did. But you did a really good job. It went off without a hitch, and so I'm sure Miss Stanley was happy to hear about that.
She did great. You did wonderful.
I too thank each of you and your staffs for all that they do, all the hard work that they put into this profession of education. It's a big job. And I thank Ms. Hamilton also for the gift that I received.
Do you have anything, John? Kim, you have anything?
I'd just like to thank all the schools, all the principals, every staff member, maintenance, no matter what they do, they all do a wonderful job. And that's why we're here, to do everything we can to help you, just if it's just to listen to you.
Mr. Luke?
I'd just like to thank everybody while Shannon's been sick, the cards, flowers, prayers particularly, appreciate it, keep them up.
John Vernon, do you have anything?
Well, it's always exciting to brag on our teachers and our staff. But it is good. This is going to be my last year here, but it's been exciting for me, almost 8 years. And, school's marched a long ways, and the reason that happens is all of our staff and faculty that gives what I call 100% of their time to make this happen. And so far, I've been here 8 years. We've had a very workable board that works together and how the kids of Scott County. And I think, like me, I think most of them, when we look to make a decision, our schools, we're not really interested which school kids it is. It's just Scott County kids. Everywhere the money needs to be spent, that's where we try to spend it. We don't try to fight for our districts over it. And that's just been a real blessing to sit on this board. And we've always really worked close together. So I do appreciate you all and this board.
We appreciate you also.
We do. We'll miss you. Change your mind.
Not changing my mind.
I appreciate you guys do, every one of you. So with that, we can go home if you all want to.